Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As you've been following along, we are now on day 10 of the book Advent Birthday Thingamabobby. That's what I like to call it now, from my cousin Terry. So, without further ado, let's just get over there and find number 10. Okay, let's find day 10. I always start at the top. Let me start at the bottom, maybe. 5, 11, that's not 11. Oh, 10. Let's see what this has in store. Okay, day 10. I kind of want to see this one before I show you guys. I'm going to keep my eyes open for this one. Ooh. Disney Chills, Part of Your Nightmare. And it's got like an Ursula theme on the top. I mean, there's a little bit of like decoration, but yeah. It says, "My dear sweet child, go ahead, don't be afraid." It's about an 11-year-old who just wants to be popular. So I definitely feel it's gonna have like a Little Mermaid, obviously vibe with Ursula kind of being on the cover, but it is from Disney. Let's see what this has. Okay, it's time to review Disney Chills, Part of Your Nightmare by Vera Strange. It's obviously part of a series where they do retellings of Disney classics like The Little Mermaid or The Lion King or things like that. Right off the bat, I gave this a 3.5. I do like the cover. I feel like the cover definitely gives a good vibe of what you're going to get for the book. It definitely has a Goosebumps vibe to it, and even when you're reading it, you get that kind of Goosebumps vibe. So it's under the Disney Chill series, if I didn't mention that. And at the very top, it says, "The dreams that you fear will come true." So when I was reading this, the main character Shelley, she's struggling to make friends at her new school. And I will say a couple of the friends drive me nuts a little bit because they say hashtag this and hashtag that. That was starting to drive me nuts. But that was the only thing that was like out of the, like, I'm trying to look at the copyright. Copyright is 2020. I can't talk today. That's one that kind of annoyed me with the friends, but in the end, those two were somebody that was actually pretty good. And she's kind of got a slight rival in this one girl. She used to be on the swim team at her old school and be really good, but at this new school, she's not that good. So she really wants to be like the fastest swimmer. And she ends up making a deal with Ursula after kind of coming in contact with her in an interesting kind of way. So Ursula wants her, Shelley, to get this Triton for her that's at the aquarium that her parents kind of own. Her parents aren't together anymore, but her parents own this, and Ursula wants that in order to rule the seas. So she asks Ursula to help her be the fastest swimmer. She ends up kind of getting gills and other things that happen, and then she realizes it might not be what she wants, and then the struggle begins of how to figure out what to do about this contract she has with Ursula. And it was actually really interesting to me. I don't want to give away the ending. It was pretty good. Like, the pace was good, which is always a plus for me. If the pace is good in a book, I struggle when it feels like I'm trudging through a book. This, I think I read it in one night, which means a kid would probably read it in one night or less. It's a little over 200 pages, so it's not too bad. There's not a lot of detail in it. I do like the edges. I think I showed at the beginning, but I didn't show it well enough. There is like a little bit of detail around the edges of the pages, which is kind of nice. There's not really, I don't think there's imagery. Yeah, the only imagery you really see is around the chapters of the tentacles. But I felt like it was kind of an interesting take on the Ariel vibe of using Ursula to grant your wish and having it be like another like teenager wanting a wish granted and the ramifications of that wish. And it did have a little message about littering in the ocean, I will say that. So it's definitely worth the read. If your kid likes Goosebumps-ish, or you do, I would definitely give this a read because I think it'd be fun. And after I read this one, I looked up the other ones, and one of the titles made me laugh. It was, instead of the Circle of Life, it was like the Circle of Terror, like roar being spelled like tear, T-E-R, then dash roar, like a lion roar. For some reason that made me laugh. And I kind of almost want to get that book to read it. I almost feel like I want to kind of find some other ones of these because I think they would be fun. And I know only a 3.5 doesn't sound like a big deal, but it means it's better than average for me. It's a little better than average. I don't know what would have got this to a 4-star for me. Possibly, I'm not sure. I mean, I felt like it did a pretty good job telling the story, but at the same time, I think a kid would rate this higher than I would. I'm reading this in my 40s, obviously, so that kind of affects probably the rating a little bit too, but I would give this a try. And as always, please hit that subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified of future videos, because again, you need to come back and see what tomorrow holds.